All right, so today we're going to dive into something super practical.
Oh,
Prepping for a process engineer interview.
ooh, fun.
Yeah. So whether it's, your very first one or you're aiming for like a more, senior level position,
Right.
we've got some insights from RoleCatcher,
Okay.
and they are like pure gold.
Nice.
So they have this incredible platform through
Okay.
all these AI tools and this massive library of real interview questions.
Wow.
So we're to unpack those and like really see how to approach them and even look at those like tricky follow-up questions that could really make you stand out.
Yeah, because it's fascinating how a lot of people think that a process engineer is just about making a factory run smoothly.
Totally.
But RoleCatcher defines it in
Okay.
this way that shows how crucial this role is across so many industries.
Yeah.
They're the ones who bridge the gap between the theoretical engineering and the real world solutions.
Yeah, they're like the efficiency detectives. Constantly looking for ways to improve, cut costs, maintain quality.
For sure.
And the cool thing is RoleCatcher's data
Okay.
is pointing to this really positive job outlook
Oh, nice.
for process engineers.
Right.
It's high demand industry 4.0 is transforming everything.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of opportunity out there.
Absolutely. And it's not limited to just one type of company.
No,
They're in manufacturing, construction, energy, even healthcare.
really.
Anywhere there's a process that needs optimizing, a process engineer can have a massive impact.
That's so cool.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Think about it. You can actually get feedback on your answers that are tailored to the specific job that you're applying for.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Their AI analyzes the skills and keywords that the company's looking for, and it helps you fine-tune your responses.
So it's like having a secret weapon
Yeah.
in your interview arsenal.
Totally.
All right. So are you ready to tackle some real-world interview questions?
Let's do it.
Okay, here's a classic. Can you describe your experience with process optimization techniques,
Right.
such as Six Sigma or lean manufacturing?
Okay.
Now, I know these are buzzwords that we hear all the time,
Yeah.
but how do you actually demonstrate your knowledge and experience in an interview setting?
Yeah, it's not enough to just name drop methodologies.
Right.
You need to show that you understand them, and more importantly, how to apply them.
Okay.
So when you answer this question, start by briefly defining the methodology they mention.
Okay.
If it's Six Sigma, touch upon its core principles,
Mm-hmm.
DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, control.
Got it.
Keep it concise,
All right.
but, demonstrate that you grasp the concept.
So it's like laying the groundwork before you dive into the specifics of your experience.
Exactly, and then hit them with a real-world example.
Okay.
Think of a project where you successfully applied Six Sigma or Lean, and be specific.
Okay.
What was the problem that you're trying to solve?
Right.
What steps did you take?
Yeah.
And here's the key. Quantify the results.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't just say you improved efficiency.
Yeah.
Tell them you reduced defects by 15%,
Nice.
which then led to a 10% increase in customer satisfaction.
Yes.
Numbers are powerful.
Well, that's such a good point. I'm always saying show, don't tell.
Yeah.
And using numbers really brings that to life.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay, so.
And be prepared for those follow-up questions.
Okay.
They might ask, what challenges did you face implementing this technique, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, great.
They want to see how you handle those roadblocks
Right.
and showcase your problem-solving skills.
So it's not just about showing the, the methodology,
Right.
but it's also how you apply it in the real world, even when things get tough.
Precisely. And that ties in nicely with another common question.
Okay.
How do you approach identifying bottlenecks in a production process?
Ooh, bottlenecks.
Yeah?
Those pesky points where the whole process slows down.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you need some sort of X-ray vision to find them.
Well, you don't need X-ray vision, but you do need a systematic approach. Interviewers want to see that you're not just randomly guessing.
Right.
So talk about the tools and techniques that you use.
Okay.
Process flow diagrams, data analysis, even good old-fashioned observation of the production line.
Oh, so it's like being a detective,
Yeah.
piecing together clues to identify the culprit causing the slowdown.
Exactly. Walk them through your process using a specific example.
Okay.
Maybe a time you use data analysis to pinpoint a bottleneck
Got it.
in a specific step of the manufacturing process.
Got it.
Again, the more detailed and specific you are, the better.
And what about those follow-up questions?
Yeah.
What might they throw at you after you've laid out your approach?
They might dig deeper into your analytical skills
Okay.
with something like, have you ever had to identify a bottleneck that wasn't immediately obvious?
Oh, wow.
How did you go about it?
Okay.
This is where you can showcase your ability to think outside the box. Maybe you had to gather data from multiple sources.
Or conduct experiments to isolate the root cause.
So we've covered process optimization and bottleneck detection.
Yeah.
Pretty technical stuff.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about like the people side of things.
Right.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide emphasizes the importance of teamwork and communication,
Right.
especially as you progress in your career.
It's a crucial point. Even the most brilliant engineer needs to be able to collaborate effectively.
Totally.
And that brings us to a question that's almost guaranteed to come up.
Okay.
Tell me about a time you had to collaborate with a cross-functional team to implement a process improvement.
Okay.
What was your role and what were the results?
All right, the teamwork question.
Yes.
I feel like this one is less about technical knowledge
Right.
and more about like how you interact with others.
You're right. This is your chance to shine a light on your communication and collaboration skills.
Okay.
When you answer, make sure you paint a clear picture of the team dynamics.
Who are the key players? What were their roles? And how did you ensure that everyone was on the same page?
So it's not just about what you did,
Right.
but how you work together as a team to achieve the goal.
Right.
And of course, what the outcome was.
Exactly. And remember, even if the project had its challenges,
Okay.
focus on the positive aspects, how you overcame obstacles, resolved conflicts, and ultimately achieved a successful outcome.
And speaking of challenges, I bet they love to throw in a curveball
Oh, yeah.
with a follow-up.
Okay.
What would you do differently if you were to face a similar situation again?
That's a great opportunity to show that you're reflective and always striving to learn and improve.
Right.
Maybe you'd approach communication differently or delegate tasks in a more efficient way.
Okay.
Show them that you're not afraid to analyze your past experiences and identify areas for growth.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Always be learning.
Always be learning. Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're digging deeper into those process engineer interview questions.
Okay.
And this time we're focusing on how to showcase your decision-making and problem-solving skills.
Because let's face it, in the world of process engineering, things don't always go according to plan.
No.
You need to be able to think on your feet and make tough calls when the pressure is on.
Absolutely. And interviewers want to see evidence of that.
Right.
They might ask you something like, describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision regarding a process change.
Ooh.
What factors did you consider and what was the outcome?
Okay, so this feels like a question where you could easily get lost in the weeds of technical details.
Yeah.
How do you keep it focused and showcase your decision-making process effectively?
It's about being structured and highlighting the key elements.
Okay.
Start by briefly setting the scene.
Okay.
What was the situation and why was a difficult decision necessary?
Got it.
Then walk them through your thought process step by step. What data did you analyze? Did you use any specific decision-making frameworks?
Okay.
What were the potential risks and benefits that you weighed?
So it's like giving them a glimpse into your mental model for making tough choices.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to talk about the challenges that you faced.
Okay.
Or any pushback that you received. This shows that you're able to navigate complex situations and build consensus.
And of course, what was the outcome?
Yeah.
Did your decision lead to the desired results?
Yes. Always tie your answer back to the outcome.
Okay.
If it was positive, great. Explain how your decision led to improvements.
Right.
But even if the outcome wasn't ideal, be honest about it.
Yeah.
And focus on the lessons learned.
Because even setbacks can be valuable learning experiences.
Exactly. Show them that you can analyze your mistakes, adapt your approach, and come back stronger.
I like that.
Yeah. Now let's switch gears slightly
Okay.
and talk about a question that's designed to assess your problem-solving skills in a crisis situation. Something like, tell me about a time you had to troubleshoot a major process failure.
Oh.
How did you identify the root cause and implement a solution?
This one sounds intense.
It can be.
Like full-on emergency mode.
Yeah, but it's also an opportunity to shine.
Okay.
Remember, they're not looking for perfection.
Right.
They're looking for someone who can remain calm, think critically, and take decisive action when things go wrong.
So how do you structure your answer to make sure you hit all the key points?
Start by setting the scene. What was the failure and what was its impact?
Okay.
Then walk them through your troubleshooting process step by step.
Okay.
Did you start by gathering data?
Mm-hmm.
Did you consult with colleagues or experts?
Okay.
What tools or techniques did you use to diagnose the problem?
So it's like being a detective. But for industrial processes,
Yeah.
you need to gather all the evidence and piece together what went wrong.
Exactly. And once you've identified the root cause,
Okay.
explain the solution you implemented. And importantly, how you ensured that the problem wouldn't happen again.
Right.
Did you revise procedures, implement new safeguards,
Okay.
or provide additional training?
So this is where you really show them that you're not just a firefighter putting out fires as they arise, but a proactive problem solver who's constantly looking for ways to improve the process and prevent future failures.
Precisely. Now thinking about long-term career growth.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide highlights the importance of continuous learning in this field.
Okay.
Process engineering is constantly evolving, so you need to demonstrate a commitment to staying ahead of the curve.
And one way to do that is through certifications, right?
Absolutely. Certifications like Six Sigma, Black Belt, Lean Six Sigma, and Certified Manufacturing Engineer are valuable credentials.
Wow.
That show you've invested in developing your skills and knowledge.
Okay. So if you're serious about advancing your career, definitely consider pursuing these certifications.
Right.
They can make a real difference when it comes to standing out from the crowd and showcasing your expertise.
And that leads us to a question that often comes up in interviews.
Okay.
Especially when discussing your commitment to professional development.
Hello?
Describe a time when you had to learn a new technology or process quickly.
Ooh.
How did you approach the learning process?
This one's interesting because it's not just about technical skills.
Right.
It's about adaptability and your willingness to embrace new challenges.
You hit the nail on the head.
Oh.
In today's fast-paced world, the ability to learn quickly is essential. For sure. So when you answer this question, give them a concrete example.
Great.
Did you have to master a new software program?
Okay.
Learn a new manufacturing process?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you had to get up to speed on new industry regulations.
And don't just tell them you're a quick learner.
Right.
Walk them through your learning process.
Exactly.
Are you someone who dives into manuals and online tutorials?
Yeah.
Do you seek out mentors or experienced colleagues for guidance?
Yeah.
Or do you learn best by doing
Yeah.
through hands-on experimentation?
Highlight your preferred learning methods and how you applied them to successfully master that new skill or technology.
Okay.
And here's a pro tip. Connect your answer back to the company and the role you're interviewing for.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So, for example, you could say,
Yeah.
I'm excited about the opportunity to work with,
Yeah.
mention a specific technology or process relevant to the company.
Yeah.
And I'm confident that my ability to learn quickly will allow me to make a valuable contribution to the team.
Perfect. Now let's tackle a question that often makes people uncomfortable.
Okay.
The dreaded salary question.
Oh, yeah.
They might ask.
Okay.
What are your salary expectations?
Oh, yeah. This one can be tricky.
It is.
You don't want to undervalue yourself.
Right.
But you also don't want to price yourself out of the running.
Exactly. The key is preparation. Before the interview, research the average salary range for process engineers with your level of experience in your geographic location.
Okay.
Websites like Glassdoor and Salary.com can be helpful resources.
Oh, those are good ones.
Yeah.
And don't forget to factor in the specific industry and size of the company.
Right.
Larger companies and those in certain high-demand industries often offer higher salaries.
Exactly. Once you have a good understanding of the market rate,
Okay.
you can confidently provide a salary range that aligns with your qualifications and experience.
Okay.
Remember, it's a range, not a specific number, which allows for flexibility during negotiations.
Now, what if they push for a specific number?
You can politely deflect by saying something like, I'm flexible and open to discussing a salary that's commensurate with my experience and the responsibilities of the role.
Okay.
This keeps the focus on the value you bring.
That's a great way to navigate that tricky situation.
Yeah.
And remember, the salary negotiation is a two-way street.
Right.
Be prepared to discuss your expectations and be open to a compromise that works for both parties.
Speaking of two-way streets, one of the most important parts of the interview is when they turn the tables and ask,
Okay.
do you have any questions for us?
Ooh, this is where a lot of people fumble.
Yeah.
They're so relieved that the questioning is over. They just want to get out of there.
But that's a huge missed opportunity.
It is.
Asking thoughtful questions shows that you're genuinely interested and engaged.
Yeah.
It also gives you a chance to gather valuable information
Right.
that can help you decide if this is the right role and company for you.
So what kind of questions should we ask?
Avoid questions that can be easily answered with a quick Google search.
Okay.
Instead, focus on questions that show you've done your research
Okay.
and are genuinely curious about the company's culture, their plans for the future, or the specific challenges of the role.
For example, you could ask about the company's approach to innovation,
Yeah.
their commitment to sustainability, or the opportunities for professional development and growth within the organization.
Those are great examples.
Yep.
You could also ask about the team you'd be working with, the company's leadership style, or even the biggest challenges facing the department right now.
And here's a tip. Write down your questions beforehand.
Oh, good idea.
So you don't forget them in the moment.
Yeah.
That shows that you're prepared and organized.
That's excellent advice.
Yeah.
It also helps you avoid asking questions they've already answered during the interview.
Totally. Yeah.
Now let's shift gears one last time and talk about a question that can be particularly challenging because it requires you to reflect on a setback.
Ooh, okay.
Describe a situation where a process you designed or implemented didn't work as expected.
Oh.
What did you learn from the experience?
Ooh, the tell me about a time you failed question.
Yes.
This one can be tough, but it's important to remember that everyone makes mistakes.
Absolutely.
What they're really interested in is your ability to learn from those experiences and come back stronger.
You're absolutely right. Don't try to sugarcoat or downplay the situation.
Okay.
Be honest about what happened, but then focus on the lessons learned and the steps you took to correct the issue.
So what if the outcome wasn't entirely your fault?
That's okay. You can still talk about what you learned from the experience, even if you weren't directly responsible for the failure.
Okay.
For example, you might have learned the importance of better communication or more thorough testing.
So it's all about turning a negative experience into a positive learning opportunity.
Precisely. And remember, this question is also a chance to showcase your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Talk about the specific actions you took to identify the root cause of the issue and the solutions you implemented to prevent it from happening again.
So this is where you can really demonstrate your ability to analyze a situation, identify areas for improvement,
Right.
and implement solutions that make the process more robust and reliable.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into process engineer interviews.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground. From technical questions to behavioral scenarios.
Yeah.
But now we're going to shift gears and talk about how to, really nail the interview.
Okay. Because remember, it's not just about, knowing the right answers.
Right.
It's about presenting yourself in a confident and engaging way.
That's right. And one of the most important aspects of presentation is body language.
Body language. Oh, yeah. I know it might sound obvious.
Yeah.
But your nonverbal cues can make a huge difference in how you're perceived.
Oh, for sure. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you're slouching, avoiding eye contact or fidgeting,
Right.
it sends a message of nervousness or a lack of confidence.
Totally. Whereas if you're sitting up straight, making eye contact, using open gestures,
Yeah.
you're projecting confidence and enthusiasm.
And a genuine smile can go a long way, too.
Absolutely. It makes you appear more approachable and likable.
Exactly.
Oh.
So before you walk into that interview,
Okay.
take a moment to check your posture, your facial expressions, and just your overall demeanor.
So make sure you're projecting the image of a confident and capable process engineer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that can really make your answer stand out.
Oh, yeah.
Storytelling.
Yes. The art of weaving a compelling narrative.
Exactly. When you're answering those interview questions,
Yeah.
don't just give them a dry recitation of facts and figures.
Right.
Bring your experiences to life with stories.
I like that because stories are memorable.
Yeah.
They engage the listener and they help them connect with you on a personal level.
Right. So when you're preparing for your interview,
Okay.
think about specific situations that showcase your skills and accomplishments.
Okay.
And practice telling those stories in a clear and concise way.
Yeah.
Focus on the key details, the challenges you faced, the actions you took, and the results you achieved.
And don't be afraid to inject a little bit of personality into your storytelling.
Oh, for sure.
Let your passion for process engineering shine through.
Yeah, let it shine.
Okay, now let's revisit something we touched on earlier. Asking insightful questions at the end of the interview.
Right. This is your chance to show that you're truly interested in the role and the company.
Yeah, and to gather valuable information that can help you make an informed decision.
So what kind of questions should you ask?
Well, you should focus on questions that go beyond the basics.
Right.
Don't ask things that can easily be found on the company website.
Exactly. Ask about the company's culture,
Okay.
their long-term vision, or the biggest challenges facing the department.
You could also ask about opportunities for professional development,
Yeah.
the team you'd be working with, or the company's leadership style.
Those are all great. And here's a pro tip.
Okay.
Try to tie your questions back to something that was discussed during the interview.
I love that.
It shows that you were actively listening and that you're genuinely engaged.
Okay.
For example, you could say,
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that the company is focusing on sustainability.
Okay.
Can you tell me more about how process engineers are contributing to those efforts?
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It shows that you're paying attention and that you're thinking critically about the company's goals.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the follow-up after the interview.
Not the follow-up.
This is where a lot of people get anxious.
Yeah.
Should you send a thank you note? How soon is too soon to follow up?
Right.
What if you don't hear back?
What if you don't hear back? Oh, it's like so scary.
Yeah. It's important to strike a balance between being persistent and being respectful.
Okay.
Always send a thank you note within 24 hours of the interview.
Okay.
Keep it brief and professional,
Mm-hmm.
but do personalize it
Okay.
by referencing something specific that you discussed.
Well, as for following up,
Yeah.
it's generally appropriate to check in a week or so after the interview if you haven't heard back.
Yeah, but be patient.
Okay.
Hiring processes can take time.
They do. They really do.
And if you don't get the job,
Yeah.
don't be discouraged.
Okay.
Every interview is a learning experience.
It really is.
Take the time to reflect on what went well, what you could improve,
Okay.
and how you can apply those lessons to your next interview.
Okay. So essentially just keep learning.
Keep learning, and remember,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher is an invaluable resource for every step of your job search journey.
They really are.
From AI-powered resume tailoring
Yeah.
to a massive library of interview questions
Right.
and expert career guidance.
Well, the RoleCatcher has you covered.
So go out there, be confident, be prepared, and be yourself.
I love that the perfect process engineer role is out there waiting for you.
We're excited to be a part of your journey.
Well, that's a wrap for this deep dive into process engineer interviews.
It is.
We hope you found it helpful and insightful.
We did too.
Best of luck with your job search.
Yes, good luck.
And until next time, happy interviewing.